Based in the Ardennes countryside, Spa hosted its first Grand Prix back in 1925. This historic track is loved by our drivers and fans alike. So it's a warm welcome from the Belgium Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour.
Hello everybody and welcome to round 7 of Formula 4 season 5, and we are here in Spa. What a fantastic race we will be seeing today. Spa always bringing the entertainment and some overtaking to be seen here, but as always I am not on my own. I am joined in the commentary box by Diggle. Diggle, how are you doing?
Good evening, Blue. I'm doing well, thank you, and I'm looking forward to, well, one of my favourite tracks on the calendar, to get to see all the pandemonium they're going to bring us this evening.
Will we see pandemonium at Eau Rouge? Will we see pandemonium at La Source? Will we see pandemonium at Pouhon? Who's to say? We will have to wait and see, but yes, a little bit early into the lobby today, so let's now see as we go into our short qualifying session. 18 minutes of racing to decide the order for the race, and it's looking pretty clear right now. It looks a little bit overcast, which we'll wait for a weather report. But right now on the comments we've got Jess. Evening lads, hello. I'm sure we're going to be seeing some excitement in the comments again. Last week I really did love seeing all of your comments in there, so let's see them again today. We get your comments out. Come on, you're supposed to laugh in support there, Diggle.
I was laughing with you, not at you. Don't worry, Blue. Of course. I mean, it's funny you mentioned the weather. Actually, with Spa, it's synonymous with this track. It can go from wet to dry in a matter of laps, just purely in regards to the length of the track. It's one of the longest laps on the calendar these guys are going to have to tackle this evening.
Yeah, strategy is strong here. You have to play it right. You can't leave it too late to put in a lap, as you say, because it's the longest lap on the calendar.
And you mentioned in regards to Eau Rouge and Radion, I want to see how quickly these guys are going to commit full on to that corner, because it's probably one of the only parts on the track that if you get it wrong, you don't normally get a second chance, because it's a very quick slide to a very short stop into a barrier.
Yes, it's very unforgiving on the game and in real life. We see Eau Rouge taking a lot of cars off, and seeing some of these guys post up videos of their laps doing no assists, coming up flat out through Eau Rouge. So yes, definitely ample amount of skill required today, and a big set of balls to go with it.
Well, we all know how you like big balls, Bloom. So, but after the action that they brought us last week and how close it was down to the line from start to finish, with a track like Spa, this is just a mixture of just, it's going to be a brilliant race tonight. I'm really looking forward to this now.
Yeah. Who's to say what we're going to see in the race? Jess, looking like, I hope it's raining. But we do also have a new follower. Welcome, Dark422. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoy the racing and this qualifying session here.
And I've just been sticking on board with BFD Ross, who looks like he's going to be coming down to be the first guy to take us across a lap. So, you know what, Bloom? I'm going to pass this on over to you tonight. I'm going to let you do our onboard.
Ooh, hey, just spice it up. Put me on the spot as we start our first DRS zone coming down to turn 1. La Source, we see a lot of accidents here in real life and on the game as well. You have to watch that outside curve, make sure you keep it within the track limits. DRS detection point here, you want to make sure that you're lining up the car in front as we come up to Radion and Eau Rouge, as we see flat out through there, 300 kilometers per hour, DRS open now down Kemmel Straight. This is where we're going to see a lot of overtaking and a lot of defending, but no defending needed in qualifying. Heavy braking now coming down to Le Combe, and we can see Ross trying to use the maximum amount of track. He could have gone a bit further over there on the left there and closer on the apex, but nice and tidy from him. Coming down now at turn 8, and 9. Again, you want to keep your track limits here. Ross could use a little bit more track, but he does ride the curve there, and it looked like he was struggling with a better track. Down now to Puon, and you want to be looking at 175 miles an hour minimum coming down here, maximising the track again. Not successfully done by Ross, but still nice and tidy. The lap is valid. Coming round now, we've seen a few accidents here. We've seen Kimi and George Russell coming together here a couple of seasons ago. But again, this is where you want to be watching the outside wall because it does creep up on you very quickly. Down now to Blanchimont. You're going to see it flat out here. Another little opportunity for overtaking just before you come to the bus stop chicane down here. But Ross doing a fantastic job. Heavy braking now. As I say, bus stop chicanes turn 18 and 19. You want to be early on the pedal, but not too early to lose traction. Coming down, DRS open. We are across the line with a 1:45.1. And how was that for you, Diggle?
It was perfection, Bloom. Woof. Get
Talk
a bit
of-
flustered here.
Put me on the spot. But
Oh,
immediately,
you handled that like a champ. Who else handled it like a champ? Droftas going straight provisional with a 1:43.4.
Ooh, I like what you did there. I like what you did there. His teammate Energetics crossing the line with a 1:44.52. YouTube cars up in the top 3 cars that have set a time so far.
Well, that's making me realise, Bloomers, I'm going to have to do a bit more research if I'm going to continue doing these onboards, because that has definitely raised the bar and the standard.
I love a Diggle on board, I've got to say. Do you know what I mean? But who have we
You're on
got
about the
coming?
league, right?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we're talking about your OnlyFans. I'm not really sure. But Curtis coming into the pits, he had invalidated. I'm not sure if he picked up any damage there because he did bought the lap. But as we say, such a long lap here. You want to make sure you've got enough fuel to go extra laps if you invalidate, as Glock has.
Yeah, and it's good to see as well, the cars, they are staying out of each other's way as well. If they're not happy with the run, trying to get the space, making sure they do not impede each other on their outlaps.
I assume you took referring to Router there as the...
Yeah. I saw a couple of yellows, but I was just on board with Router, and as I said that, he did the exact same, so I'm kind of happy that happened, but I believe that is a... Was that not Droftas when Jags? It was Droftas. Oh, we got a car around.
Someone around,
Oh, hello.
yes.
So, it's the chiropractor. He's back.
Yeah, Ramsel. But I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But Ramsel, good to see you back.
I was going to say, there's nothing negative to say here. I'm glad to see you back. A returning former driver.
I am glad to
behind the
see
wheel.
him back, but he was facing the wrong way. So he needs to revise the track a little bit more with yourself to know which way round. That this is a clockwise circuit, not a counterclockwise circuit. Sorry, Ramsel, but had to chuck it in there. Xerxes crossing the line with a 1:44.3, but we did miss Death Dragon as well, popping it into P2.
And Mikey G with a 44.7 as well. So these times are starting to creep in. Unlike the other tracks, because it is such a long lap, you don't really get opportunity to do 3 runs. You kind of need to get out and commit. If you make any mistake, you do lose a lot of time going in and out of the pits.
Ramsel just coming up. Oh, running on, and he's fallen victim to it. He has fallen victim, but he has managed to keep it out of the wall. And I'm going to get off him because I am not commentating on Ramsel. I will not take that responsibility.
No, I think he's having us on. I think he's having us on. He's dusting the cobwebs off. I'm looking forward to him getting his elbows out in the race.
So, have we got anybody just about to come across the line? We've got Repsol just about to finish his opening lap. Chazza as well. But so we've got a little bit of time to look at the comments. Dark, hello guys, been a while. I'm not sure who Dark is, but yes, welcome back. If you go on,
Junior.
Oh, was that Junior?
Don't worry, my dad's getting used to it again.
Ah, see, read on and you find out the answer. No, fair play. Well done. Callum, Spinny!
And then just to add to it as well, Droftas there, nosebleed. Well, you're sat in provisional pole, Droft. You've set the benchmark, but I can't help but think The drivers are just going to sit there and let you have that one.
Is that a driver being humble? Oh, nosebleed, I'm so high.
That's not like this league, is it? Right. Saying about that, to be fair, Pease is just about to start his first lap of the session. Wooter as well as on a current out lap, as well as Sloth, so we got some of the guys that we've seen have got some good pace behind them.
Thankfully, that was Sloth who was looking just past in someone off track. Keezer, he was off track for a moment, and Sloth on an out lap thankfully didn't impede his flying lap.
Yeah, Glock's on a run. Glock's sorry, is in his out lap. We've got Chazza, Curtis, they're both on their hot laps as we speak. Same with Keezer, who's just behind his teammate. There is a Sega, that is the car. Sega, yeah, just keeping out the way of those two guys. Sloth, I think they should be clear. I can imagine he's going to want to start to pick up the pace now.
Chazza just invalidating there on his flying lap. But
saying that though, down. Sorry.
8.5 minutes left, and we've only got 6 times on the boards. We need to be seeing these cars crossing the line and getting up there.
I was just getting caught out with the track removing, the game even removing the outlap counter, because I just saw Wooter with no outlap and he was on the final corner. I kind of got a bit excited, but no, false alarm.
We can see.
But who is on the final corner with going into the pits is Keezer. So never mind.
It's like a forever changing game.
Curtis, I believe, is going to be the next one down to set a lap for Duracell. Doesn't have a time on the board. We have seen some good pace from this man this season. Where is he going to end up? He's just got around the final corner, get the rotation right, foot down, traction seemed decent. DRS open, down to the line. Where is he's going to go up at a P3 with a 44.0.
Yes, just knocking his teammate down. Oh, but Pease knocking everybody down with a 143.3 on the soft tyres.
Just in case anyone needed to remember that he was here, that's his statement. But saying that though, I believe we're going to have Wooter. He's just halfway through the middle sector as well, so I'm just going to keep an eye on him. Sloth just a bit further behind on the lap as well. Glock as well, just in between them. So the next 3 guys, I believe, will be the likes of, it'll be Wooter, Glock, and Sloth in that order.
Yeah, just got a shout out Ramsel completing his lap with a 1:45.5. Aylan just starting his lap, but as you say, Wooter should be the next to set a lap time. 1 minute 30 so far on his counter. Can he beat Pease? Currently 22 points in front of Pease in the Drivers' Championship. Can we see an extension here?
And 42.7. Woohoo! What a lap, Wooter. Hello, good evening.
Pass that nose-bleeding tissue onto Wooter, Draft-Ass, because he's just knocked you down.
I got a little bit thrown off there because I saw a yellow in the just coming out of sector 2 was Glock, who I think has invalidated his lap, so he's just backing off to do another run. So that does mean we have Sloth just coming down to the line. He's unfortunately done the same on his lap, so Sloth will be running again.
Ross, his teammate, just about to cross the line. Does he improve? He does improve by a tenth, but doesn't change position. Oh, and Ramsel.
Yep.
I'm not saying it.
No, don't. No, I was just having a flick through the cameras, saw something, it looked fine. But just going to stick on board with Aylan, to be fair. Purple in the middle sector, so quickest out of, well, theoretically should be the session so far. But we do know this game likes to just be a little bit deceiving. But he's got 2 corners to go. Baskin Robbins driver, like I say, returning race last race, put in a strong drive, just got very unlucky come the latter stages. Just round in the final corner now. It's looked very neat and tidy up until now the lap. Where is he going to place himself? Up at a P5 with a 43.6.
Boom! How's that for a bombshell? Yes, a awful race last week. I'll say awful. It was a great effort, but very unfortunate. I think we both double whammied with some commentators' curse, and then the commenters even joined in for good measure.
I thought we agreed it was the comment section. It was their fault last week. That wasn't us.
It was.
For once, it wasn't us. All right.
Let's see who we got coming around.
We've got Harren, our reserve for this evening. Coming up to the bus stop now. And again, it's looked relatively clean. That these drivers are doing a very good job to get the traction down and not kick out the rear end. Down across the line, up in a P7 with a 44.3. Very respectable lap.
Yes. Sloth coming in. I think Sloth is having trouble with the track limits. He seems to be invalidated most of his attempts at the moment.
However, sorry to jump in there, Glock is just coming around now to set his first lap of the session, so he did bail out of the last lap. He saved up the battery, went for a second run, up at a P2 with a 43.2.
Completely.
And that is on an extra lap done on those tyres as well.
Yeah, split those championship protagonists. So they now have a Glock to deal with, but we know how they can manage a race start. But,
I beg your pardon. Oh, sorry.
But we are now yellow flags. Come on, get out of the way. There's only a few minutes left, so as you can see, the track is pretty vacant right now. But we will see everybody coming out to prepare for their final effort in this qualifying session. Still no weather update for the race. So we don't
just
know
over 3.5 minutes left of the session as well, like you say. So they're going to want to be out on track sooner rather than later.
We've got Alhan just coming around. I think he's going to be coming in. And as you say, 3 minutes left. It could be a quick dash in and out. Might just have enough time to do it again.
And this is a big lap for Chewy as well. He's, I think he's going to be the next car to set a valid lap unless anyone's gone for a second run. He's just finished the first sector. He's coming down now through to P1. That's the corner. Yes, the long lefty one. That's the one.
Yes.
But he's kept it nice and clean. He's not being too adventurous with the track limits. So, like you say earlier, he may have pushed his luck a little bit too much. But I think just getting a time on the board is going to be more important right now.
Who are we talking about? Chewy? Is we on board with Chewy?
Yes.
Yes. Cool. Sorry, just wanted to check.
I mean, I hope so. I've just said all of that.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at who was in P1.
I mean, I think I got the question right. I could have got it. I could have got that corner completely wrong. But either way, he's up to the bus stop. I know this one.
Yes.
Down to the line, and Chewy's first lap is going to take him up to P15 with a 45.8. He does have time to run again if he's got the fuel on board, which it does look like he has. So, cool down lap, recharge the battery, go again.
And Glock has retired, very happy with his lap. So, yeah, Keyser just starting his first. Well, he's starting his attempt now to get his first valid time on the board, but there's a lot of traffic coming out of the pits. Hopefully not.
One guy that's not going to be coming out of the pits is going to be Glock. It looks like he is retired in the pit lane, so that 43.2, maybe that's all he could manage on the car.
We got out on track. That's DJ just crossing the line. Next coming up is a YouTube, and that is Ramsell,
who'll be starting a run.
Behind him, we have Callum on an outlet.
Starting his first run, we've got another YouTube car, which I believe will be Draft Energetics. And with a lap count of 7 minutes, I presume that was on my screen there. That was a practice run, maybe. Sega crossing the line now of Ross with a 45.0, does improve by a tenth, does stay 13th.
Ooh,
does he? Well, to be fair, saying that, he's got the battery on him though, so he could go again.
He was absolute margin. Well, mind you, yeah, very close to Bannister. Let's just say that.
And the man we were just riding with earlier has pretty much got no battery left, which is Chewy. So this clearly was his second run, back-to-back laps, down to the line, bit of a squabby rear end, and pretty much matches the lap time.
Yeah, and that was Wuta crossing the line also. Ooh, we did have a position change there.
Keys is down across the line. Is this going to be another lap for, I presume Pease is going to run again? Same with Alan. So they're all leaving it to the dying moments of this session to get the lap in.
Yeah, now anybody crossing the line now will not be able to go again.
DJ's going to be the first one. He was up by a couple of tenths, moves up into P2 with a 43.1.
Oh, fantastic time there.
Purple third sector. Brilliant.
And we have Callum up on the inside. Where is that? That is the inside of the very start of Sector 3, staying out of everybody's way.
Hold on. Next lap coming along, and oh, it's invalid. No. Oh, Ramsell does cross the line, but he backs off, unfortunately.
Ross up on the inside of Sector 3, so very, very bad there. Hopefully didn't get in anybody else's way, but Xerxes just crossing the line. Does improve up to P7, but demoted to P8 after, who was that just behind him? Chazza.
I believe that was... Yeah, I was Energetics crossed up at a P7 and immediately got dropped down to P9. We got a Duracell and a Sega by the looks of it coming down across the line now. I believe that is going to be Ross. Ross crossing the line there. Not the best run for him. He must have had a problem on track. But Wouter, the man in provisional pole, is there any more time? He's up by a 10th on the Delta on a 42.7. What else has he got in the tank? 42.6 is the answer to that one.
That is your answer. Can it be responded to? P's just final corner now, 3/10 up on his previous time. That will bring him closer to Wouter, and he does take second place, but cannot beat that time
just
by the championship leader.
Alan crosses the line. He does stay P7, so still a solid drive, and I believe that is us done for the session. Yeah, Chewy into the pits. What a qualifying for Spa.
Yes, fantastic show there, and a show that the reason why these two are at the top fighting for the Drivers' Championship right now, but not far behind is DJ Glock, Chazza and Droftas doing a fantastic show.
Just having a quick look in the Discord as well there. DXR, Junior even, sorry, would have joined, but I'm on PC. Well, that just means you need to get a PS5 then. Come on, come back to PlayStation.
Yeah, speak to Ramsell, get him to sort you out.
Yeah. Zeni, apologies if I butcher the pronunciation of that one. The cat has joined me in watching. Oh, bless.
Just a quick rundown on the qualifying order there. Wouter taking pole position there. P's only behind 3/10. DJ in third. Glock 4th. Chazza 5th. Droftas 6th. Alan 7th. Xerxes 8th. Energetics 9th. Curtis 10th. Mikey G in 11th place. Horling, sorry, in 12th place. Keezer in 13th. Bannister 14th. Ross in 15th. Ramsell really unlucky on that session there. Got 16th place. Chewy 17th, Callum and Sloth unable to set time, but they are 18th and 19th.
Oh, it's always a laugh with you, Blue. Right.
Oh, well, I'm trying to make more light of it as of late. I've been watching some of the other streams recently, and there's got some.
You've been watching other content?
Well, a little bit. You know, you've got to see what's out there, but some of them are like quite involved, quite serious, and quite energetic. Whereas I think we're energetic, but we just lack the absolute precision on execution. And not, yeah, well, we lack a lot of things. Brain cells, mostly for myself. But we don't lack the comments. Princess Phoebes, good evening. And,
sorry. That is a very grey-looking forecast and sky above the grid. Sorry, just to jump in there.
Yes, that is looking pretty dark. But we got Jess in the comments. Hey, Drofty, and hey, Phoebes. So I think this is Junior's prediction. Is predicting Wouter first, P's second, and Droftas third, which I think DJ is currently third and Droftas might be fourth, I think, if I can remember qualifying correctly. So just a position swap from this race. But we've seen a lot of safety cars recently in the last two rounds. Let's hope for a little bit less safety car and a little bit more racing. But we do have a Rouge on this track, and that does not take lightly to its victims.
And yep, your hope for rain could be coming true. Hope you're getting the rain dance on, and I hope you're feeling better from last week as well.
And Pillars in with the buzzword Shalom.
Buzzword.
Buzz. Winter taking a very exciting line there on turn 1 for La Source, but look at that strategy prediction. Mediums to lap 10, then hards till the end. Or was that hards to lap 10 and then mediums to the end? Because he's got a set of hards on right now, so we must be on strategy 2. But it did look like mediums would go a good 10 laps and then the hards 12.
I mean, you know as well as me, Bloom, in regards to this, normally, well, we can't obviously see the weather forecast, but seeing that many hard runners up at the front, they do like to opt for the harder tyre to begin with, but possibly rain at the end?
Well, we can see another alternative strategy there on the screen for Iestyn. Mediums to lap 10, hards to the end, but we did see a soft medium strategy coming up for the alternative.
Any of my game didn't want to give me any of that information, so I'm glad you got it, Bloom. 22 laps of pure chaos. Yeah, he's going for it.
He is. You can see the poker cards on his helmet, really looking for the gamble, but Wuta normally good at making up places on up to turn 1, but there's no places to make, there's only places to lose for Wuta, having taken pole position.
Now, dare I say it, we've seen in the last couple of races, the pole position sitter has not held first place into turn 1 or at the end of the first lap. So can Wuta break the trend that we've had the last couple weeks even, and hold his first place? And now I get the strategy on my screen. Yes, 10 laps to medium, 13 on the yards.
Ooh,
there we go.
Having a horrible time there, losing it at the very end of the lap, and then we also did see Iestyn lose it further down as well. But we do see the fully immersive setting on for our races, so the drivers have to park into their own parking bay, and the better job you do, the better off you will have. But that does allow drivers to aim themselves off, and we can see, I think Pease is aimed a little bit towards Wuta, and Wuta's aimed a little bit towards Pease, but we have 5 lights, and let's go Pease with a fantastic start, already upside Wuta, and he's already taken the position, not even into turn 1. Pease up on the inside, defending very well. Wuta trying to switch back, and they're side by side coming down now towards Radion, who will take the position, both on hard tyres. Wuta retakes the position for first place, and that's so tight.
The fact he stuck that round the outside. What a move by Pease. We're coming into the Glock with what a drive. Glock's moving to the inside. He's got Wuta on his inside. Wuta's backed out. Glock's gone for the move. He's going to have to hang it around the ride, but no, Pease just fends him off.
Fantastic. We normally see Wuta taking the positions from the race start, but he's only lost 2 positions today. Having a look already again to reclaim one of them, taking it off Glock.
A little bit of a side-by-side action there, and they're still running side-by-side down the hill, but just behind them, that is bringing the likes of DJ right up behind them as well now.
I was going to say, I promise you, there is 17 other cars in this race, not just these 2 at the front.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of position changes in regards to, I believe, Harron and Curtis as well, happening at a very similar time. And as said, now as well, we've got Ross and Geezer going side by side. Looks like Ross has gone a little bit deep into the chicane, losing out to Ramsel, up to who's now currently in P15 as well.
Yeah, Ramsel up 1 position, taking that position from Ross. Sega not having a good day at the office with 3 cars at the back. Sloth having trouble at Eau Rouge early on as well. Not sure if that was contact. And he is missing his entire front wing, so we will have to pit.
I'll tell you what, just coming down to the end of the first lap now, so far the likes of Harron and Bannister both up 3 on this opening lap. That's a brilliant move.
What's happened to Xerxes? Xerxes just parked it at the bus stop chicane. He is waiting for the bus. I'm hoping that's a sync error because he's just sat there.
That car is not moving. Right, okay. And we've just lost Keys out, we've lost Chewy.
Oh no. Xerxes in the pit. Ramsel is
no, Keezer and Chewy, they're in the wall after the first corner.
They are.
On the inner wall. There must have been some side contact there, or some wheels catching on each other. But we do have our first safety car, and unfortunately, the man who's come out right behind it is literally coming out the pits behind it, which is Sloth.
Yeah, but he will be able to overtake it though.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely find that interesting to see anything put into the stewards, because that is not just on board with Sloth. You see two cars in a very strange position to have a crash.
Yeah. Sloth managing to drive through them. Very early for anybody to do any strategy calls now, only 2 laps into this race. Oh, and Xerxes suffering a drive-through, speeding under the safety car. But we're not sure what happened to him early on. He was parked at the bus stop chicane, wasn't he?
Everything seemed to happen at once. And to be fair, I don't know if you called it early. You said someone didn't have a front wing. I've just going back up through the field. Ramsel does not have a front end. So
No.
I don't know if that is something to do with what happened earlier, or if you touched on that earlier, I do apologise. But I think that would be the time to get a new front end on that car.
Oh, yes, it was sheer pandemonium at the start, but a front wing at this point won't cost him too dearly. Sloth is already quite a distance back. Xerxes, having unfortunately suffered a drive-through, will drop back anyway. So, yeah, Ramsel may maintain that position.
I mean, to be fair, even with the length of the lap, it should be too much of a hassle as long as the game doesn't put the delta on the drivers. But straight away, we're seeing people come in. Sorry. Oh, have I missed further damage? Aaron and Alan in the pits. Ross in the pits.
Let's have a look, see if we see any wing changes. But yeah, 4 people in the pits.
Very interesting call. We got a set of hards going on to Alan, Harron as well, coming in, ease off the mediums onto a set of hards. Ross he's on medium style set. Well, these medium runners ditching the hard tyres straight away.
Ramsel in for a wing change as well, energetics.
Ramsel's opted for another set of mediums, fresh set of the yellow rubber. Same with energetics as well. Xerxes just getting ahead of energetics there out as he comes out the pits.
Yeah, Xerxes will need another safety car in this race to try and get back in after serving that drive through. But yeah, it's still a long way to the end. I know it's not too many laps, but they are some very long laps indeed. So, but we do have a ruck of comments to try and catch up on. We'll keep it PG, so we'll skip a couple of them there. Duh. Phoebes, it's too early for this. Note, I'm not reading a couple comments out, so maybe if it was past the 9 o'clock watershed, I might do. Basically, I'm not sure what I can read out.
Don't give me that lol, and then I don't believe you. I swear, some eyes, another emoji, which I don't quite... oh, it's a very evil-looking thing. And then, oh, Stephen.
I don't know. Stephen.
I presume Xerxes.
Yes.
Why does it always look like there's a massive dip in the road in the pits? I believe on this track the pit is a little bit lower than the start-finish straight.
I thought he was in the commentary box with me. Oh, a massive dip. Oh, right. Okay.
After you've literally just said we've got to keep it PG because it's not 9 o'clock.
I said dip. But, Pillars, anyone else get turned on by these two voices? I tell you who does.
You thinking others?
I can tell you who does. Alexa.
Oh, for crying.
I can't say anything else right now, otherwise she'll... Oh...
You set her off, haven't you? Oh, that's where you got it from Pillars' thing in the chat. I thought you were just generally saying that statement.
No.
Right, okay.
I am reading
really
comments.
Confused.
I am reading comments.
Okay.
All of our Twitch comments. You can also comment live on the YouTube stream if you would like to, but all of our main comments coming in from our Twitch stream. Thank you very much for joining us.
I thought you were going on some raunchy tangent there, Bloom. I was going to say.
Oh, Princess Phoebe just diggles. Clearly no love for the Bloom.
Aww.
I don't mind. I get enough love from my wife. Anyway, like we say, back to the racing. Pease, having taken that position early on from Wouter, holding this race lead. He will be doing the race restart under the safety car. Wouter will be looking to reclaim that top spot. But Glock, after a fantastic show at the start, taking the position from DJ and also temporarily taking a position from Wouter until he fought it right back. Fantastic show from Glock. DJ in 4th place for Repsol. Droftas in 5th, again gaining a position. Chazza unfortunately lost out 1 position at the start, but Curtis up 3. Mikey G up 3. Bannister up 5. Always a good effort from him at the Pot 4 driver for Repsol, representing very, very well. But his main rival Callum just behind him. He's knocking on your door. Up 8 positions. Aylin, not a fantastic start from him. Usually suffer. No, tell a lie. It was a fantastic start, but he pitted. That's why he's down in P11. I will catch up at some point. Herring.
Look. I'm hoping you realise there is love for you in the chat. It is being said right now, so please don't worry.
Yay!
Hopefully that settles it now. Now you might be able to get through the rest, all right?
Yay, I'm a happy man. Happy, joy. There is some really old reference in, but hey ho.
Yeah. But safety car in this lap, so it'll give us a bit more to focus on.
Yes, as we see the cars now bunch up together. P's responsible for the race restart. I realise I haven't even put telemetry up yet. Oh my god, what a rookie job I am doing today.
Bloom.
I know. Ooh, Diggle better than Bloom. No hard feelings. Oh, Junior, why you play me like? But it looks like Pease is playing.
Right now. Pease has gone.
Yeah, everybody else is playing. I'm too busy having hard feelings. But yes, Wouter looking to take the position from Pease, but can't do anything until we pass this safety car line.
To be fair, it looks like Pease timed that to perfection. He caught everyone unaware by going so early, and Wouter just managing to stay with him. But the likes of Gleis kind of spaced everyone out. Not really any major danger going into one. To be fair, Chazza is right on the back of DJ. Teammates, are we going to see any team orders down this, well, first what will be DRS activation? I'll get my words out in a minute.
Well, we won't have DRS just yet under the safety car restart. But we also see Herring and Aylin having a good old battle further back. And we have Xerxes in the wall, unfortunately, but Herring taking the position from Aylin there. What a fantastic job down the Kemmel straight he done.
Yeah, Aylin didn't want to challenge that too much. I think after last week, he might want to play it a little, might be a little bit on the cautious side, but we do know this man is always saying that, takes a little bit of curb, and just loses a position out to Ross. So maybe he's a little bit flustered there on the restart.
Ooh. Just making some random noises there. But Curtis, on the back of Chazza, hopefully he isn't making any random noises because that would put him right off.
Well, to be fair, Curtis is going to be harassing the 2 Rapsol drivers, and he's going to want to get up to his teammate Glock. We've seen those 2 as a team pairing perform very well early on in the season, even last season as well when they were teammates. So what is Curtis, how quickly is he going to be able to dispatch the 2 drivers, and is DJ going to let Chazza through? Are there going to be team orders?
Well, DJ is going to be under threat, certainly not this coming lap, but the lap after when DRS has been activated.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think DRS is going to need to be active for something to happen here. Like, Chazza is really trying to get the move on. Curtis is not wanting to let them get away, and just behind him as well, Mikey G is getting into the fight. So this is turning into a nice little 4-way scrap, and DRS, like I say, isn't even available yet.
Yep. All of them on the hard tyres, so...
Saying that, who's on the move there? That was Callum on Ross into turn 1, right on the back of Harron. So again, there's this little train. Callum has got one hell of a drive on Harron. He's had to lift coming up through Eau Rouge over Radion, I believe that is it. And he's side by side. He's just the speed of that Duracell. Just pulling and edging out. Is Harron going to try and be a bit later on the brakes, keep the car on the inside line? He doesn't. later on the outside goes Callum, and we got contact further back with a Baskin Robbins and a Sega, I believe. That is Iestyn and Sloth into the wall on the inside of the track.
Yeah. Didn't quite catch it at the back
that
there.
Was just looking back, because it looked like Sloth may have been on the inside. 2 into 1 unfortunately doesn't go, as we've seen many times in this league. Iestyn doesn't look like he's got the damage, but Sloth looks like he is missing an end plate, unfortunately.
Yeah, not sure who to blame. Like you say, the steward's room was lit up last round with appeals put in, and looks like we will already have 1 or 2 queuing to get into the steward's room after this race. But Haring doing a fantastic job trying to attack Callum, but more focusing on defending from Ross and Droftas just behind. And as he's doing so, he does pick up a 3-second penalty.
And you're talking about the queue there, you got DJ again, Chazza at 2/10 off the back of his own teammate. DRS is going to be active, I believe, this time round. Missed the pop-up if it was up on the screen. There it is. So are we going to see any position change? Right now, DJ is going to be insanely vulnerable from not just his own teammate, but the 2 drivers behind as well.
Well, they're going to have to play the team game here to try and make sure that there's minimal positions lost for Repsol.
I mean, on top of that, the top 3 guys are already a couple seconds. I say they're a couple seconds up the road. They're still within view. So if Chazza has the legs on him, surely they're going to want to release him, let him try and get his head down and crack on. But yeah, not much of a defence there from DJ. Not much he can really do. Is Curtis going to get a look at all at the Repsol driver? It looks like it's been covered off nice and well by DJ.
No, it has been covered off. Haring now trying to have a look at the inside of Callum further back. We did see Droftas take the position from Ross. So Droftas on his way through, as just Haring is also.
It's a brilliant drive for our reserve this evening. And like you say, yeah, Droftas right on the back of Callum. He's having a look up the inside. But, oh, Callum's gone deep. Droft is just trying to sneak it up the inside. They're going to run side by side now to this. I believe it's corner with no name. I could be wrong. And we got a car round.
Oh, Ramsel.
And we've lost
no.
Ramsel. We've got Curtis round and Ramsel out.
Full course caution. We now have another safety car again. I think we're going to have a record soon for the amount of safety cars in so few races.
I think the last 2 weeks, has it been four safety cars each race?
Yeah, we had 4 safety cars in the last 2 races, 2 so far this race. So 50% the way there for being another full safety car race. And that's not really what we want, but lap 7, it's a little bit early to be doing a tyre strategy, but if you've got good tyre management and P's, almost losing the back end, but we will see a split strategy now. Wouter has decided to come into the pits. Pease and Glock staying out, so Wouter will be on fresh rubber, making that call.
I'm thinking, to be fair, it was said lap 10 on the mediums. We're only a couple laps off that. 3 laps beyond the safety car as well will bring us to that pit window. So these medium runners, it's probably not a bad call to come in and put the hards on.
Yeah.
But maybe Wouter's banking on another safety car. We saw it, like you say, the last couple of weeks where cautions breed cautions. So we've had 2 already.
Oh, and Wouter doing a fantastic job, timed it perfectly, and just through sheer coincidence, everybody else behind him seemed to also want to make that same tyre strategy call, so he's lost minimal positions. He will be back up behind Chazza in 4th place with fresh rubber, ready to attack.
And the major benefit here is going to be for the likes of Aylin, Sloth and Xerxes, and even Curtis as well, who had that bit of a spin earlier, or whatever happened to himself. So these drivers are going to kind of get a fresh restart, kind of put whatever happened behind them, and see if they can focus on now to the remaining laps.
Oh yeah, and the misfortune of not going Aylin's way there, because he's now on a set of softs. So unless he dips in again for a second pit, the strategy he's called might require another pit before the end of this race.
Unfortunately, by the time this safety car comes in, I think we're going to be only 4 racing laps. We'll have only had 4 racing laps, if I've got that correct.
Quite
unfortunately, yes, Spa's a long lap, but unfortunately, it means there's more possibility for things to go wrong.
Yes, and yeah, I'm just really intrigued now to see if Aylin is going to be coming into the pits, because I think, although you could, like you say, caution breeds caution, we could see another safety car here, but if we didn't, we will have to see another pit from Aylin.
I mean, to be fair, it's not going to be much of a loss if he does as well. He's got a buffer to the cars behind it. If there is a delta going, I can't imagine there would be for everyone at the back there, but to be 14th or 16th at this stage, if you've got the right set of tyres, I don't think it's going to really matter. Just going to have a quick check, to be fair, on the position changes, just out of curiosity, because we've had a lot of split strategies and several cautions. Biggest person to gain out of everything so far through the strategy side of it is Ross, who's up 9 positions since the start. Unfortunately, the man running in 16th, Xerxes, down 8, but again, this could be down to staying out for strategy, just being unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time. But hopefully the safety car can reset all of the pure pandemonium, as you would like to say, Bloom. I think you've forgotten that keyword, but it's kind of taken a back seat to your other favourite word at the moment.
Well, yeah, it's been replaced by shalom or whatever comes to mind at the time. Oh, and as we called, Alan has come into the pits and is now put on a set of hard, so he could very much go to the end of this race now. And he's only lost 2 positions for doing that.
That is a used set of hards as well, but he should be able to run to the end. Could just stay out of trouble. Or I say out of trouble, probably just hoping that everyone else stays out of trouble around him. It seems to be so far as the hard part.
And the wall. But yeah, like you say, keeping yourself out of trouble, keeping yourself out of the wall, your strategy could be completely ruined by somebody else. It's misfortune, unfortunately, but that is racing, and that's what the racing gods will decide on the day.
And just keeping an eye on the clouds as well, it is starting to actually clear up, so unfortunately, I mean, dare I say, I don't think we're going to get any rain this evening.
Sorry, Jess.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of wanted to see a bit of a wet track this evening, but unfortunately, maybe next week.
We've seen enough pandemonium here. With our Rouge without loss of traction, so I'll just be happy to see a race with no more than 2 safety cars. That's what I'll be happy to see.
Well, Bloom, we're not even halfway through this one yet, so I wouldn't hold your breath just yet. Of course, we want to see more racing and we don't want to see any more safety cars, but these guys don't give each other an inch because it is not a full 100% race. We do 50% in this league, so there's less time to, think twice about these decisions. You need to get the moves done quick and fast. Is Pizzo going to lead us away on the restart, and is he going to go early? Of course he's going to lead us away. He's first, but is he going to go early like he did last time? And is Glock now and Chazza, are they going to try and pester him?
Well,
who can stick with Peas?
Got to watch out for Wouter further back as well on that fresh rubber in front of the charge of the cars behind him as well, because a lot of the cars behind also are fresh rubber.
And Peas is leaving this a lot later than last time. I can imagine he may gun for it out of the final corner just to try and get that acceleration, and he has done. But in doing so, Glock was kind of that. But what a drive by Peas. He's just pulled away. But who hasn't pulled away is Wouter's already looking up the inside of Chazza into 1. Those fresh mediums working wonders. The rear's just holding it. Chazza with a kick on the back end.
Oh,
and Wouter is not letting anything happen.
Chazza is into the wall. You say kick on the back end. He caught it, but then lost it again. So really unfortunate for Chazza there. But Wouter now up into 3rd, chasing down Glock and Peas.
4 wheels are still on the Repsol car of Chazza, I presume.
Yes.
To be fair, talking about Repsol, DJ having a look at the inside of Energetics. What a drive on those mediums down the back straight.
Yeah, looking for the switch back. Oh, no, they're not able to make any advancement there, but definitely all over the back of the YouTube car of Energetics.
Yeah, and just behind them as well, got Mikey G and Droftas as well. Again, these guys are all on those fresh mediums. Energetics is going to be wanting to look left and right because one wrong move and he could end up losing not just one position, he could lose multiple. But as I say that, Mikey G's gone a bit deep. Droftas has held it up the inside, and Droftas takes a nice position up into P8.
Yeah, Curtis and Callum also exchanging positions further back.
Up at the front though, Wouter within 0.2 of Glock, 1/10 of Glock, and the DRS isn't even active yet.
Yeah, Glock having to defend for his life from the fresh rubber on the YouTube car behind. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. We've got Xerxes off further back.
Oh, it's already got in there, but Wooter had a look at Glock. Glock changed directions to defend. I say that, obviously it'll be down to the stewards to have a look, but it was a bit of an indecisive which way he wanted to go. Wooter had to very late hit the brakes there without trying to run in, but still setting the fastest lap of the race. But Glock has gone deep again into one. Wooter cuts up on the inside. They're now going to run side by side, but Wooter, battery deployed, with the mediums, they are going to squeeze each other up for a Rouge. Are they both going to keep facing straight? There is contact. Glock's got across the inside of the corner. And just held on to the position. And he's I presume that is letting Wooter back through, but again, this will be something that the stewards can obviously look back at the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what was happening at all moments there, but we did catch it on stream, and as you say, stewards are there! And Mikey G, a massive dive on energetics there, took the position down into that corner, and I'm surprised I caught that, because if I didn't catch it, I wouldn't have believed it.
I think the stewards are going to be busy again this evening, just like last week, Bloom.
Yeah, the stewards are as busy as the safety car driver. I've forgotten his name. What's his name?
Mylander.
Yes, that's him.
But just going to I'm going to personally stay with Wooter here, because he is now within half a second, 4 tenths, 3 tenths. That gap is closing quick to Pease. Of course, Pease hasn't made a stop yet. Wooter has, but to be fair, right now, it's kind of a level playing field, depending on what tyres Wooter has left and he's opted for to run on a strategy.
I will move up now. It's just too busy having a look, see further down.
He's closing in on Pease. He's going to flick to the inside into one. He backs off, so I have a feeling he's going to try and run. DRS as well will be enabled to that. Maybe it's a smart play for Wooter just to sit behind Pease. He will definitely get DRS on the Baskin-Robbins driver down the Camel Straight.
Yes, and they still need to watch out because Glock is in DRS detection zone just behind. Also, I can see some position moves further down. Droftas and Ross exchanging positions, but as you say, Wooter
up at the front. He's gone for it. DRS open. Not much Pease can do, and Wooter takes the lead. It's taken him 12 laps, but he's back into the position he started, and he's on a fresh set of mediums.
Yeah, Pease, as you say, still to pit. Glock still to pit. So strategy coming into play there massively. That call from Wooter might be race deciding.
And saying that, DJ and Harron. So DJ takes a position. Mikey G and Ross as well. That downhill right-hander looking very popular for the guys this evening.
I think they all just need to take it in turns and let us know when they're going to do it so we can watch. So I keep missing all of these overtakes, and I'm watching now energetics all over the back of Ross. But Ross has got Sloth behind him as well.
You want to have a look at Droftas and Harron here. Droftas is having a look around the outside. Harron's just ahead. Again, these medium runners are being very aggressive, but they've clearly got the grip. And I think we got Sloth and Energetics, like you say, have swapped positions. And DJ, sorry, Droft even, beg your pardon, round the outside of Harron. What a move.
That was a fantastic move in a place where you don't normally see positions change. Fantastic driving from Droft.
Bannister got Energetics, but it looks like Energetics is going to get the drive back on him. Sorry to jump in there, Bloom. But Energetics and Aylin just behind as well on Callum, I believe that was. So Energetics back up to 10th, Aylin to 12th. What a lap for these guys. Definitely putting on a show. And it looks like Mikey G is going to try and be a little bit later on the brakes on Harron. Harron's gone deep. Are we going to get a switch back by the Baskin-Robbins driver? No, Harron's placed the car nice just to kind of fend off. And he does have the DRS on Droftas to just keep himself in P6.
It's all going on. Sloth and Ross changing positions as well. I don't know if that's a team order play because Sloth is on the faster compound tyre.
I mean, the one to keep an eye on now, just like Just saying in the chat there, go on Drofty, go get him. To be fair, Droft is just owned, well, he's within a second now nearly of DJ, and that'll be for P4.
Yeah, but Bannister just losing out to Energetics and Aylin at the same time, but Aylin looking to take 2 positions there as he's now looking up on the inside of Energetics, but he does back out just before the braking zone.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good drive so far, getting back up the grid. He's working his way back through, picking his times, Aylin. So he thinks he's probably going to have the pace on Energetics. It's just going to be a matter of time of when and where he can make that pass on the YouTube car.
Yeah, we can definitely see the skill, the racecraft that Iestyn normally brings, but he has just suffered some misfortune a few races with us, and good to see him back on track, doing well. As you say, a few positions to get back up to where he started and then to make advancements from there. But Sloth up 11 places, fantastic from him. But I think he was one of the cars that didn't set a time at the start, so maybe that's not truly representative.
I mean, you're talking about people who have shown, you know, their skill in driving and the speed they have this evening. Wouter, okay, he's on the medium.
Sorry to cut in,
2.5 seconds.
G making a move up on Herring, but then also Sloth in the mix. Herring having a really bad day at the office there, nearly 2 positions lost, but he is managing to keep hold of that position from Sloth. Just about, but no, under braking, Sloth does get his nose further in front.
Good spot, good spot. Peas, though, has come in now for a set of mediums, so this will be the time now. What has Peas got in the tank to come back at Wouter? This has, of course, released Glock, who is still yet to make a stop. And right on the back of DJ, just looking at what will be the battle for third now. Droftas is right on the back of the Repsol driver. DRS is surely going to be flicked open. There it goes. Is he? Which side is he going to go? DJ going to commit to a position. He goes left. He's going to leave the inside for Droftas. Droftas is going to go a little bit later on the brakes. They're going to run side by side through the chicane. They're leaving each other space. This is nice, clean racing, and a brilliant move by Droftas to take third.
Absolutely beautiful. That almost looked orchestrated. The respect shown from the drivers here is absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful. That's all I can say. Shalom.
Sound like you're going to tear up, Bloom.
I am.
Saying that as well, just had a quick glimpse at Bannister and Callum there. I couldn't quite tell what way the positions were going, but Bannister looks like he's carrying a bit of end plate damage, which unfortunately is not what Pease is going to want. Is he's down in P14, so he's going to have these you could say mobile chicanes, unfortunately, that he's going to have to navigate his way through now.
We know that Pease don't have too much trouble with the mobile chicanes. We've seen Wouter also make absolute ease of cutting through the field, but we can see in the comments some very good points being made as Pease, like you say, around the outside.
And to be fair, sorry, just to say that, we've got Curtis all over the back of Iestyn, coming down to the bus stop chicane. Iestyn's just trying to make the rear end of that car. There's a slight bit of contact. Curtis is on the left. They are side by side. Iestyn is later on the brakes. Is he going to get the car stopped in time? He does. But wow, okay, whoa, straight into the pits there for Iestyn.
Yes, Iestyn into the pits there. Obviously backing out of that battle, but we did see strategy call for Iestyn going back onto the hards. It's surprising to see him back in the pits, but we also see Glock in the pits, down now back near Pease. So yeah, really bad day at the office for these who chose that alternate strategy.
Iestyn in for a fresh set of mediums, so maybe again banking on another safety car possibly. That'll be interesting, but Energetics up at the front there with Ross. Energetics on the grass to get around Ross, but brilliant with the DRS open. Oh
no! Energetics and Ross, they've come together. Energetics with a 5-second penalty for a severe collision. I caught the end of it. You obviously caught the start of it, and I caught the aftermath.
And Ross is missing an end plate, so something is definitely happened there. Last time I saw was I believe it was Energetics. I can't remember which way around it was now, but yeah, he was up on the grass with 2 wheels, and it looked like he'd cleared him, so I cut off the action.
Well, there was contact again. Stewart's room will be quite busy after this, but Pease now looking at the rear of Callum, and he's trying to make his way through. Callum positioning his car well, but not well enough to keep the position from Pease.
Confidence and commitment on that brake and move. Okay, he's got fresh tyres, but that was brilliant. And I didn't realise Glock had come in and back out, and Glock is right on the back of Pease. So I've missed that amongst all the pandemonium, and like I think you were going to point out, all the penalties that have come flying in, unfortunately.
Oh, that wasn't me pointing it out. It was our astute commenters pointing out that these penalties are coming in, and if we have another late safety car, then that will have dramatic effect.
You see coming in, Mikey G is in the pits as well now for his first, no, wouldn't be first, second stop. I can math.
I can math.
And who else we've got in there as well? So Ross obviously in for the damage. So just to kind of look back here, but Glock is right on the back of Pease. This is for P7. These guys are at the front, obviously on an alternate strategy. is Glock going to get Peas as they're going to come down the cable straight now? DRS is going to be open for Glock. Unfortunately, Glock is carrying the penalty. Peas taking it to the right side, and well, with DRS you can imagine it'd just be a nice easy straight pass.
Albeit for 7th place, it must feel good to be able to pull a move off such a high standard driver like Peas. You know he's got pace, and if you've got a little bit more, that just gives you a nice warm feeling in your tummy.
I'll tell you what, you say for positions, even though they're low down, we've got this, I think we're going to have a nice little battle brewing here for 13th. Just was riding on board with Chazza, he's come round, Ross, Xerxes, Bannister, all within line of sight. So even if it's further down the grid, these guys still want every position they can get, because in this league you do get points for just finishing the race no matter the position.
But we can see who's going to be hopefully taking most of the points here. Wouter 10 seconds ahead of Draftas, and obviously a massive gap down towards his main title protagonist, Peas, who's down in 8th place.
I mean, we've got 6 racing laps to go now, and as I say that, Draftas is in the pits. So clearly, that pit strategy of going on the mediums earlier is going to result in making the extra stop. DJ's in as well, so that does promote Sloth up into P2. So is this going to be a soft run for the last couple laps of the race? Try and bag the fastest lap of the race. Again, extra points for the quickest driver of each pot. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That has made me wonder now. I'm going to have to inspect Wouter's tyres, because why are all these medium runners coming in so late in the race? As you say, Wouter's also been on these medium tyres. And the graining doesn't look all too bad, but why is everybody else coming in if they're not bad? I must wonder.
I mean, those mediums were only meant to do 10 laps on the strategy itself, so coming up to that time now, you look at the pace difference between the fresh rubber and the worn rubber. We saw it earlier when the roles were reversed. Where the track is so long, it's not just a matter of tenths, it can be a couple of seconds a lap, depending on the driver and the situation they're in.
As you say, Haring, though, 14 laps on them hards, definitely going to be under threat. Peas and Glock knocking on his back door.
I was going to say, Aaron's going to have both his mirrors filled by a very eager Duracell that's want to get his way by, and shortly after, I can't imagine the Baskin Robbins of Peas is going to want to hang around and sit behind the reserve driver too long. And just like I say that, he's already up alongside, and there seems to be a nice little favourite move of his later on the brakes around the outside, and he goes through with Glock.
Yeah. Now, I thought that it might have been the wrong call, the wrong strategy, and it would make the day very long for Peas and Glock. But they are romping through this field again. I know that they have got a massive gap, but Wouter's in! Wouter's in!
Again, it must be that it must be that it's the strategy, the tyre difference. You can see the pace here. This fastest lap is going to drop. The track is now going to be up to temperature. The grip is going to be an all-time high. This is going to be a big call. Where is Wouter? He's going to, of course, going to exit out of turn, the other side of turn 1. He doesn't have to do that. I believe we've got Curtis. Curtis is in as well, so that's going to release the likes of Glock and Peas. Glock and Peas are already heading down into 1. Where is Wouter? Is he clear out the pits? He's on pit exit. Where are the likes of Glock and Peas? Are just rounding turn 1 now, so Wouter has cleared. Just about stayed out in front. Now that does leave Sloth on 11 lap hole medium zone leading the way.
Yeah, Sloth right up the lead. I say right up the lead. He's nearly got Wouter in his DRS. DRS was not activated because he didn't catch him by the activation point.
I think he's going to have a lot of company very quick, depending on what Sloth decides to do on his strategy. But you know what? Up 18 positions, currently holding the lead with 5 to go. Not a bad drive at all.
Not a bad drive at all. Definitely not. But I've got to say, Haring up 7 places. Fantastic result from him so far. I know he probably will need to pit unless he's going to carry them hard to the end and just try and keep track position. But Draftas will be looking to have something to say about that as soon as he can. He won't be long before he's back looking at the gearbox of the reserve car driver.
I mean, with only a few laps left to go, Bloom, I'm just trying to think about driver of the day, and I'm still kind of waiting. To be fair, it's been so many good drives by so many drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one today, but Haring is definitely one up there for me.
See, I'm going to have to throw Sloth's name in there. I think we'll have to come to an agreement when the checkered flag falls, possibly.
Well, I kind of threw it in there on the last race, so I think we'll go with your call. today, but Sloth, as your driver of the day vote, just losing out on the race lead. The inevitable happened to him.
We've got a yellow out. That is Callum Round. And it's a virtual safety, yeah, with 3-4 to go. Virtual safety car.
So, Wouter with not much battery. Sloth,
I mean,
more.
Yeah.
Glock and Peas have been using the battery. It's really weird. It's Wouter and Peas and Glock in this mix today as well. They either don't use the battery or they use it all. It seems a bit.
I was just thinking, like, Sloth, this is brilliant, because clearly Sloth on those tyres is not going to have the pace to defend much from the likes of Glock and Peas. He had a couple second deficit to those guys. This VSC is just going to kind of stall that out now. It is a long lap, so they may only get a sector or maybe two if he's lucky. I mean, it'd be generous if they do the full racing lap under VSC, but and to be fair, looking at that as well, some of the guys taking advantage of this, the likes of Chaz, Zoxis and Callum, all whacking on a fresh set of softs. We go back under green, so maybe we're going to see some fastest lap attempts further down the back of the grid just to try and, like I say, grab those extra points.
Yeah, and Sloth trying to keep with Wouter as much as he can. Didn't lose anything under that VSC. Still within 4 tenths of Wouter, and just dropped straight down to 7 tenths as I say that.
I mean, saying that, it didn't take long for Glock and Peas to break that gap down. So if you look at that, behind them, you do have Harron on the hards, which you can imagine Sloth should be. You'd imagine Sloth is safe from Harron. So this is a solid drive so far, but can he just stay within the DRS, burn that battery? He's got it to spare. Can he hang with Wouter?
Yeah, this will be critical for him maintaining position, staying in that DRS, but he's going to have Glock very soon on his case. I think Glock missed out on the DRS, but P's got DRS on Glock.
And importantly as well, importantly for Wouter, he's broken away from Sloth, so he's not going to be towing along Sloth he's not going to be towing along, Sloth at Glock as well, and then Peas. So this is going to be Wouter's chance to try and break away on those fresh mediums. Yeah,
because as you say, Glock and Peas going to have to suffer that mobile chicane in the shape of the Sega car.
I mean, for Sloth, he's not moving that slow, so I don't think he's going to make it easy for him. To be up in this position this late on in the race, it is fair game for any driver. Saying that, Droftas passing Harron, Droftas back up into 5th.
Yeah, we've got Curtis also making his way past Mikey G. Mikey G also looking to be suffering a position loss from Energetics as well. Energetics up on the inside.
I can't really look away from this battle at the front, to be fair. Sloth 2 tenths to Glock and 5 to Peas. He's making the back end of that Sega as wide as possible to hold on.
Yeah, because although Glock and Peas want to get up and attack Wouter, Sloth just wants to hold on to this podium place, and I do not blame him whatsoever. So as long as the racing's fair, he can make that Sega as wide as he possibly can.
He's going to be wishing the checkered flag was coming a lot sooner than it was, because he's going to have 2 long racing laps still to go with arguably some of the faster guys that we have, some of the fastest guys we have in this league.
Yeah. Now the gap between Sloth and Wouter, nearly 4 seconds.
And he's gone for the move on the inside later on the brakes, but Sloth is still on the inside. Slight bit of pinch, but Peas cuts up on the inside as well, so Peas doing a nice switch back there to benefit. So just like that, unfortunately, Sloth dropping from 2nd to 4th, but he now has a 7-second buffer to Droftas.
Yes, and now there's going to be a right old ding-dong coming the way of Glock, because Peas is going to have DRS, and they've got about just as much battery together.
I mean, Sloth's still running on just under half a full battery, so Sloth is definitely going to have to hang on in there. But just looking further back here at the moves being made there, Aylin making a move and then backing out and letting some through. So maybe that was, well, we do see drivers, if there is a bit of a collision, they do tend to let the other driver back through. So a bit of racing respect maybe, possibly, after a mishap that wasn't intentional.
Yeah, it looks like he went for the move and went deep, so he just let the other cars through. Energetics. Oh, Energetics having a look on Mikey G there, just in front of Aylin. But Energetics...
Just having a look at the fastest lap. Sorry, Chaz had just taken the fastest lap of the race. So those softs definitely were a call for points.
Yeah, and the fastest lap of the race does earn you an additional 2 points. And then if you're the fastest within your pot, that does earn you an additional point. Sorry, I should clarify. Fastest lap is 1 point, and you also get a point if you're the fastest in your pot.
I mean, I know I said it's a long lap, and the tyre difference can make can make a considerable amount of time gained. Sloth was 7 seconds clear. Droftas is now down to 4.5 seconds in the space of a lap.
We have lost Bannister.
Oh,
Bannister,
so close to the finish.
We are so close to the end. That won't cause a VSC or a SC because it's just too close to the end. But more importantly, Wouter 5 seconds ahead of Glock and Pease, but Pease behind Glock.
Curtis has just made the move on Harron as well, up to P7, and just ahead of them is DJ, so we can have a last-minute change around here for P6.
Yeah, we are on the final lap. Sloth doing a fantastic job. He's just outside the podium positions, but yes, as you say...
Droftas is closing quickest day. He's gained a second in the space of 2 corners, and this is a long lap. What can Droftas do? Can he make this remarkable, just gain on the Sloth and possibly make the move for 4th?
I am watching on board with Curtis though right now. DRS activated. He doesn't have very much battery at all, especially for a Duracell car. Lucky to make a move on DJ, and I didn't think he was going to get close enough, and he doesn't have the battery to execute that move either.
No, but he's got the grip, and it looks like he's going to have to draw a bit of a rear. As I say that, rear end steps out. If he could just keep a calm head, he's going to have more opportunities in these braking zones to maybe have another look at DJ's 6th place. But the gap, I'm just going to keep an eye on this one. Droftas down to 2.5 seconds on Sloth. He is closing in fast on that Sega driver.
Well, Sloth has also got penalties, so unfortunately it does look like he is going to...
I completely forgot about the penalties altogether. That's going to completely reshuffle the top 3 for us, isn't it?
It will. Droftas might be on for a podium position here because Glock has got 6 seconds of penalties to go. Sloth 3, so how that finishes, I think Droftas will be on the podium.
Well, saying that, talking about the podium, our race leader and soon to be very, very briefly is going to be our race winner, Wouter, crossing the line, taking a very brilliant drive and victory here this evening. Glock crosses the line P2, P is crossing the line P3. Of course, those positions do swap. We are waiting to see. Sloth does cross the line P4. Droftas does get him on penalties, unfortunately, but a brilliant drive for Sloth this evening.
He's got P4 by 21 thousandths of a second.
No, he's 21 thousandths off a podium.
Don't say it like that. More position changes, but we see the last 4 drivers coming round to cross the line now, all with penalties. We'll see how that changes, but they are spaced out quite dramatically, so I don't think there will be many changes there. But what dramas this race has brought us, and I do apologise. I love the comments, and I just haven't been able to get my eyes on them. But yes, Princess Phoebe
going on screen.
Princess Phoebe was also Sloth for the win. So another driver of the day vote there. So I do think we go with your vote there for driver of the day.
After that, starting last, or starting at the back of the P5. Minus the penalty, unfortunately, which seemed to be his undoing for a P4. What a brilliant drive.
Yeah. Fantastic drive through everybody. Good to see Glock and Pease making their way through the field. Wouter with the ultimate strategy call there. It was questionable to begin with, and with the frequency of these safety cars, it's becoming difficult to make sure you're on the right strategy at the right time, because it will just come down to the racing gods deciding how the race will end. But yes, Wouter taking the race win here for Spa.
And the game even agreeing there with the driver of the day, but I think that was an all-time low for safety cars over the last couple of weeks. We did have the VSC, but
just to mix
it's nice to see that. I was going to say we had more racing laps this week than we probably had the last couple.
Yeah, with only 22 laps to possibly have as well.
And they still crammed in all that action for us to bring you this evening.
Yeah.
And the top 3 we're seeing there on the podium, spraying the champagne. I mean, I think they're going to be really relieved that one's over, to be honest. I can't imagine that any of those drivers could have let off for a second.
Yeah, fantastic racing all throughout. But penalties did come into play at the end. Wouter taking the top spot, Pease taking the second step, and then Glock just holding on to that podium place by the skin of his teeth. His 5-second penalty, sorry. Meaning he just held on to 6 second. I will get it right
It's
in the end.
6 seconds, yep.
Dropcast in 4th, Sloth, driver of the day in 5th, Curtis 6th, DJ 7th, Mikey G 8th, Alan 9th, fantastic recovery drive from him, Harry in 10th, Energetics in 11th, Ross in 12th, Chazza in 13th, Xerxes 14th, Callum 15th, Bannister unfortunately DNF along with Ramsel, Chewy and Keezer.
And it's nice to see there as well that our second and third place drivers stuck to the initial pit strategy of the one stop, where everyone around them decided to change it up.
Yes, but join us in a moment in the drivers' interview room where we will be speaking with our podium place finishers and our driver of the day. Welcome to the driver interview room, and on your screen you can see yet again the YouTube car because we have another race win by Wouter, but we have third place taken by Glock. What a fantastic race we saw from him. We've never really spoken to Glock before. He doesn't come in to do the driver interviews, but yes, very, very close to losing it because of that 6-second penalty. And Droftas with a fantastic drive, nearly claiming that podium, but for now it does go to Droftas to Glock for Duracell. Am I getting that right? Can't remember.
Yes,
Sorry.
you are.
I apologise. A commentator should know what he's talking about, but we just cuff it. But somebody else who wasn't cuffing it, who was really putting all the effort in, Pease, taking second place, but we normally see him on track having a good old ding-dong with Wouter, but today he seemed to be having the ding-dong with Glock. How was that race for you, Pease?
It was okay. I didn't like the safety cars, but yeah, the race was alright. I think once I realised the strat wasn't going to go my way and Glock had the penalties, I just kind of had to settle to just sit behind Glock and let like finish second under his penalties. But yeah, no, it was alright race up until the second safety car.
Yeah, safety cars coming into play again here at Formula 4, but hopefully they will soon be disappearing. But with Singapore next week, we might have one or two more to come. But how was you feeling when you saw Wouter going into the pits whilst you stayed out? Was you feeling at that moment that you maybe could have made a different strategy call?
I stayed out initially because I thought people aren't going to pit. The tyres can't go to the end. Surely everyone's just going to stay out. And then Valter comes out in fourth and everyone else pitted. So from then it was like, ah. So yeah, I think after I got past turn 1, I realised it was a long, long, long day. And then I'd have a big, big pack to try and get through on the comeback. And yeah, it was just long. But yeah, hopefully Burnt Islander takes a holiday next week. Doesn't come out in Singapore, which is very unlikely. I might have to puncture the safety car's tyres. But yeah, it was a good race. It was fun.
Anything to add, Diggle?
I mean, to be fair, it was kind of just a touch on the way you cut back through the pack. It may not have been the result you would have wanted at the end with the strategy. I think it had us guessing from start to finish, but it must have still been enjoyable, passing all those cars and like dicing your way through the field, surely.
Yeah, it was. It's scary sometimes when you carry a lot more speed through a fast corner, and then you're nearing to assaulting someone. But no, it's fun going through and overtaking. Yeah, that's the fun thing. If I didn't have that and I was just driving on my own, it would have been a dead race for me. But the overtaking was fun.
Oh, that was a brilliant drive from start to finish. Okay, like I say, it wasn't the result you're after, but congratulations on the P2 this evening.
Thank you.
And now we move to our top place finisher, as he has done a few times this season already. Wouter taking the checkered flag for the Belgian Grand Prix. Wouter, how was that race for you?
Start wasn't great. When Page is next to you, I think you always have to worry about losing a position at the start. But then it was a bit of a train until the safety car came out, and I decided to take the gamble and pit, which worked out perfectly. And from then on, I knew I was in a good position to take the win.
How was them mediums feeling on your car? We could see a lot of the guys pitting to come off one, but we've seen you still out. On the pit camera, we could see there was some graining. How did they feel for you?
They were alright. I think they were gonna make it to the end. I basically had a free pit stop, so I just took new mediums, and maybe would have gone for fastest lap. And they were feeling alright.
Anything from you, Diggle?
I mean, to be fair, like that pit call that you made, like how late was that call, or was that something as soon as you saw the safety car, you had kind of committed to coming in and trying to, mix up the order a bit?
As soon as safety car come out, I was thinking about it. I knew I couldn't go to the end, but there still was a chance I could, like maybe stretch him out a little bit. But I was hoping people followed me into the pit lane and helped me get into a better position, and that happened.
Well, it seemed to pay off in the end, and I find myself repeating probably this phrase, talking to yourself as well. But once again, congratulations on a brilliant drive. The strategy clearly paid off in your favour, so well done this evening. Great win tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and we would now go to Slough for driver of the day, but he hasn't joined us in the interview room. But yeah, we did see Slough leading the race at some points, and whether that was through safety car, strategy calls, or whatnot, but he did hold his own against the big guns late in the race. And yeah, congratulations to him taking driver of the day. Any thoughts from you, Dougal, on how the race went?
I mean, we've had pure pandemonium from start to finish. A couple of safety cars just to mix it up a little bit more. I mean, I'd quite happily seen that race go on, twofold, just to see that racing unfold even further in the battles on track. But if there's anything to gauge for, week on week, this is building up and building up. I'm just looking forward to next week now.
Yeah, as long as we can remove the safety cars, we seem to have a few of them at the moment here at Formula 4, but hopefully that will soon disappear and we can have some full-length action racing. But we will soon have our reverse grid wildcard in a few races' time, where we will see the championship leader starting the race from the back. We always see drama when we do reverse grid, so let's see how that will play things up. But join us next week for round 8, where we go Singapore, and hopefully, as we say, Bert Meinlander will have a week off the bugger. So hopefully, but that's it from us this week. Glad you enjoyed watching our stream, and we will see you all next week. Love you, bye.
Bye.
Bye.